hair on my microphone, which is very
Ooh, your
apt
DNA is everywhere.
I always get scared my hair falls. Sorry, I'm just going to put this on the floor. It's probably covered in this chair anyway. But I always get so scared because my hair falls out so easily, and I'm like, if I walk past a crime scene...
Did you say that to me
What
the
if
other
I
day?
got-
Laura literally said, I think her hair had fallen out or something. She was like, I always get scared that I'm going to get framed.
For when I murder. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was I get framed
I'm
and it was just
innocent.
here.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no, I've just got anemia. Hair falls out.
I've just got weak follicles.
Did you have your advent calendar chocolate?
I did. I've got a coffee one.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, like Nespresso pods.
Oh, I thought you meant coffee chocolate. I was like,
No.
I'm just not confident on the chocolate.
Chocolate shouldn't be anything else but chocolate. When people put like with champagne truffles,
I don't mess
coffee
around.
chocolate,
No.
like stop prattling around.
Yeah, like the
Just
whiskey chocolate.
Stop it.
I do like the pink champagne
No.
truffle.
I've got a box, you can have it at home.
Really?
Yeah. I opened it like 6 months ago though. Had one and then I was
They've
like,
gone like white.
yeah, it's fine. Just scratch it off the posh brand, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That one.
Is it champagne?
Oh, I've never had them. I'm the same. Like I'd rather just have a bar of dairy milk.
So
but I'm not a good
disappointed.
like chocolate advent calendar person, so I'll just eat it all.
Oh really? No.
Yeah, I've got to have like
you
something
can't go
else.
ahead.
Yeah,
You can go back. We used to go
because-
to my nan's and she'd be like, you've not been for 2 weeks. 14 chocolates. I save it up. I'm not coming purposely, so I can just
In
like...
credits.
Because if it's one day, it's a little square, but if you have 14, it's maybe half
Did you
a
do
bar.
that when you were younger?
Not when I was younger because I would have got showered at. But
Yeah.
like
Last week.
but I kind of work out. I'm like, well, I won't be here on the 14th,
Oh, so do you eat
so I'll
ahead?
have the 14th,
Never.
and then
No.
I'm like, it was only 3 days until then.
I
Like-
could never.
That's really
Yeah, I'll
bad.
just-
Have you
it
ever
all.
done it where you make it look like you've not opened it? So you put the door back.
Imagine someone at your own, at yours.
I ate some of Alex's last year.
Did you ask?
No,
Oh, God. If Neil did that to me, like, I swear
I know
to
if
God,
Alex
there'd
did
be
that to
violence.
me, that
There'd
would
be
be
violence.
hell let loose. But
You ate my chocolate!
Oh yeah.
I know.
I can hear, do you know that people rummage in the fridge and you know you've eaten something, you're like, oh wait till they come back in. Did you eat? Yes, yes I did.
I was gaslight.
Take me away.
So you need a secret eater's camera in the fridge.
I need that.
Yeah, like a ring doorbell button in your fridge.
Oh.
Yeah, and it goes through to Neil
What
and he's
are
at
you
work. What are you doing?
Honestly, when it was Halloween, I remember having like for the 2 days after Halloween, I didn't eat real food. I didn't have meals. I had
Haribo.
the thing that I thought the children had enough of. Oh, they can't have all the sugar, so I will have it.
Save their health.
Couldn't fall asleep.
I think one of my kids was being a bit of shit. And when he went to bed, I was like, I'm eating some of the Halloween treats. And I was like, I'm not going to have his because he was really good, but I am going to have. I swear to God, I did. I was like, he's
You
pissed
told
me off.
them.
So I mean, and then the day after it was Woody. Spoiler alert. And it was like, do you know
You'll remember.
the chocolate coins? So it's like in a bag, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
netted
Or
bag.
the pumpkins.
The pumpkins.
He really liked them at my
Well,
house.
I didn't know that. And then, so I
gosh.
opened them. And then like 2 days later, he opened them. He was like, they're open. And I was
You
just,
really liked them.
yeah, I was really honest. I just went, yeah, mummy opened them. I was
You
like,
even confessed.
I did. I can't lie.
I would lie.
A really weird thing is, I'll
die on
be
this hill.
Albie's into flossing. We've got the dance, obviously, but also your teeth.
Oh, I think
yeah.
meant teeth because Woody keeps asking me for
No,
floss.
because she said, "Would you like one, Woody?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, we're going out the house, so you can have one later. Can Teddy have one too?" Yeah. So we'll be sending some flossers to your house because
Flossers.
so there's little
Oh, like
plastic
on
ones
sticks.
that are on
No
sticks.
wonder he
Oh,
kept
yeah,
asking me
yeah.
about
It looked like a toy,
I was
and
like,
so
I love that you want to floss, but
that's why.
Oh.
And it was after the chocolate chat.
oh yeah,
Oh God.
sorry.
That's the only appealing thing about children for me, like going trick or treating.
Okay, so I'm booking you in for next year then because
I will.
my toddler cried all the way around
It was
when
like
they went out.
I'll be there
Hocus
with my basket
Pocus,
as well.
Where we lived, it was absolutely like
Yeah, it
I'm
was, do you
talking
remember?
hundreds of kids, and the poor people that live on this estate no one lives on that estate. I swear to God, everyone comes from other bits of culture to
You
this
can hit
particular
a lot of
really.
houses in
Yes.
a small square mile area.
Good strategy.
Yeah.
So people drive
Yeah.
and park up.
We drove.
100% we drove.
We're the
did.
problem.
Yeah, no, we did. But that is so interesting. On the advent calendar thing,
Yeah, I
Who
can't have
doesn't?
chocolate ones. So I can have like my coffee one because I'm not going to eat 24 coffees.
what
No.
about these beauty ones?
Ooh, well,
Oh,
There's some good bargains to be had.
there
But
is.
they're so expensive.
Mum bought me and Laura one last year. Do you remember the Space
Yeah.
NK one?
Shout
And
to
I am
this year.
still riding on it.
That's
Like,
very
I
nice.
swear to God, I still get joy out of it. There's still stuff left over, and I still read the brochure, and I've got all the boxes. Laura, the day after, literally ripped all the boxes up and put them in the bin and recycling. And me and Mum were like, "What?
Yeah.
You did what? Like,
You're
it's
not
half the
displaying it."
fun.
No, yeah, exactly. And then
It's
I
like
divided.
playing shop.
But I divided them up in my makeup and
Yeah,
skincare
yeah.
drawer into.
It was just the day
this
after.
is face, this is feet, this is hands, this is makeup. Like so, but
Getting put away.
it was the day after. It was literally like they were.
I was like,
See, but my
that's
we
thing
don't
with
keep
half
that,
boxes in our house.
my thing with that, I would open them all to see what was in there.
that's what I opened them.
Oh,
all.
no,
you
she
o-
gave us it as a gift, not for
We
Advent.
actually got it
Oh, okay.
on Christmas Day
Yeah.
as a gift,
We didn't know we
that's
were
good.
getting it. Yeah,
which was quite fun actually.
Yeah, that's more for.
I got 25 gifts in one day.
I think it's a
That's
really
really
good
good.
present. I don't know if I'd have done it. Yeah, so that might have tested
I would
me
have looked.
one day at a time.
Oh no, mate, I probably would have looked. Yeah, you're
It's
right.
the chocolate thing that I think it's from childhood.
'Cause
That it's
imagine
like
if
you
you were
not eat
like-
ahead.
Imagine if you knew you could have colour wow 20 days
That's
earlier.
true. I'm going in on Medicate,
Well, most
retinol.
people know what's in them because of
Yes.
everyone on social media will
Yeah.
have shared. But you can get some super bargains, yes.
Mm.
But is there a pressure on parents or on families to buy like?
Yeah, Advent calendars got really bougie. Like I was looking before Christmas, and
It's a way to get more money
there's,
out of us.
yeah, there was like
Yeah.
a Cadbury's basic one. I think it was £2.50 maybe. There used to be £1, I remember.
I bet
And
it
then there
more
was
than
like the one that
Mm.
I wanted was £12.50, like a chocolate one. And I was
it's like eggs though,
I'd
isn't
rather
it?
buy
Oh, yeah.
12
Easter
bars of
eggs.
chocolate.
Literally, I would rather eat
It was a
that.
Terry's one, I think, and I'd rather buy. Do you know, at school we used to have the very nostalgic, but like the fabric ones where there was
Yeah,
a
and they-
pocket, and every day they'd pick a different child. I would rather do that and get a full size bar
Yeah,
for less than 12. It doesn't make sense.
it is weird.
It's expensive, and
It
so like
is.
if you, this
And
is
the Christmas Eve boxes.
But when we tell people about when we tell people about when you're planning for your Christmas, and I know like everyone's probably had their last paid day before Christmas now. What used to be buying Christmas presents in the festive period has extended to we do some of this, and I think it's about picking the bits that you like, but
Not feeling pressured
gingerbread
to do it
house
all.
making and Christmas pajamas, Christmas Eve boxes.
We make Christmas decorations every year in a pottery place. It's that.
But then things like Christmas markets.
Yeah.
I love Christmas.
I
Do you
can't
do-
cope.
Do you do
No.
Christmas markets?
No, I can't be bothered. And then I think my kids won't like it. They're at like
They'll
groin
complain.
level.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
I can't see any. I'm like, oh, look at that macrame shop. Look at that pottery stall. And my kids are just looking at everyone's groins because they can't see anything. And they're just squished in like sardines. And I wonder why all these kids are crying walking around the Christmas markets.
I always
they don't
think,
want to go.
why are people taking prams around the Christmas
Prams?
market?
Yeah.
I'm tripping
Like,
over the poor kids. The
Yeah.
kid- just think about it. Like, just think, do your kids want to go? I get going as a group of girls or with your
Or
partner.
with your partner. A good
Yeah.
tip is actually, especially like some of the city ones, is go on a lunchtime
Yeah.
and go
That's a good idea.
go early.
I'm
Like
going the outskirt ones in Manchester. They've got the central
little pop-up
one.
ones.
I'm like, I remember when it used to not be a massive thing, and we were like one of the first to go. And then like within a year, it was like everybody goes to Christmas
Yeah.
markets, and it's just turned into, I don't know, gives me the ick a bit.
It's not a novelty now, is it? It's like
It's just to be seen. It's to put on Instagram.
Manchester
Just
Christmas
put on
market's
Instagram.
it's very expensive.
Yeah,
so expensive as well. Like, you
Like
get a little
like
thing of
hot
little
dog.
pancakes.
Yeah.
It's like £12.
I was just about to say, they're like 12
it's
quid for
super
little
expensive.
pancakes.
I don't know, like you're
Crazy.
paying obviously for the experience and stuff, but
I think it's picking. It's like, it's not being guilt trip. I think when your kids are young as well, you kind of go a bit crazy because you're trying to work out. And now we've stuck to like certain traditions. So like they like doing the Christmas tree decoration things.
Holly likes them doing the Christmas
Well, no, I
tree
don't. It's actually very
decorations.
stressful because they do like, it ends
spoil
up
them.
brown. So, do you know what I mean?
They mix the
When they were
paint.
babies, it was great because the woman was like, oh, let's make a tree out
Yeah,
of the
they've got no
hands.
control.
It's so cute. So if you look at our Christmas decorations, age 1 to 3 are divine, and then from 4 onwards,
Chaos.
shit
Gone
show,
downhill.
absolute shit show. I've got brown decorations, and so they're going in the back of the house.
You've got a brown tree this year.
No,
Oh,
as
yeah?
in like brown, yellow, blue, like they're mixing all the colours. It's just, I think we'll bop that one on the head soon. That maybe
We-
next year we won't do that.
We've got a Christmas market tradition.
Go on.
Every 1st of December, we call it Brat First. And we're going to have a Brat
Brat
Wurst.
First.
On the
Did you-
1st of December.
And you did it. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy it?
Every year we do it.
Hot dog.
I love a Brat Wurst.
I love the hot dogs.
It's dangerous that they're only a walk away from my house because I'll be like, should we go and get bratwurst?
Should just go have a snack.
You've got a good eating out budget for December.
Yeah. And then I think people in the community a few months ago were like saving up for the January sinking fund, which I loved.
Yeah, I love that.
So not being we're not being miserable in January.
I've got a small January sinking fund. Just extra little treats.
We're not being miserable. We're going eating out. Eating out, you will get 50% off deals left, right, and centre in January.
Mm-hmm.
Go and enjoy yourself for half the price. Like, do not scrimp and be miserable and stay in because the weather's rubbish and it gets dark and dreary. People are so sad in January because it's called a long month, like because you got paid generally before Christmas. Your employer sometimes pays you before Christmas.
Yeah, and it can be tiny. Like if you're on a debt-free journey, it might just be that there's
something.
one meal out at the end of the month and you look forward to it, or a takeaway. Exactly. It doesn't have to be completely bougie, but giving yourself a bit of grace in January is a cool thing to do.
Did anyone? I know we'll obviously have Christmas decorations, but I always think about when everyone gets their Christmas decorations out and they put the cash in the like Christmas tree box or the decorations box.
Yeah, where it gives them a takeaway. Yeah. I always think it every year and I go, I will forget.
I will not know.
And it will get lost or the house will set on fire. I'll lose that 50 quid and I'll be fuming.
Surely this is just the sinking fund.
It is, but it's like, oh, I forgot. I put £50 cash in the Christmas tree box.
I'll rip a box up and it'll go in the bin.
Put it on the fire.
Your house, it'll definitely be gone.
Put it on the fire. Welcome to the Vault with Financielle. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics off limits. Hello. I'm going to go straight into the controversial opinion today. You shouldn't have a personal trainer if you're in debt.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't.
What if I have never been to the gym? I want to start my fitness journey. I'm so inspired. But I don't know what to do.
Get an Instagram, hon. Like YouTube, Instagram, friends that know what they're doing. Get out. Couch 5K app is really good just to get out and start your fitness journey. You do not need a personal trainer. It would be lovely. Yes. It would be helpful. It will help keep you accountable. There's some amazing ones. Yes. It's not for you right now.
And, you know, depending on your debt-free journey, that might be a short amount of time before it can go back in budget. But what we do is we can convince ourselves of anything. And personal trainers, firstly, they're paid properly because they should be paid properly, are quite expensive.
It's a skill, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And but we might tell ourselves, I'm not going to do it, but if I get a personal trainer, I'll do it. Yes. Mm-hmm. And that accountability does work, by the way. That is like something that people pay for and it's effective. But if you're starting off on a fitness journey, you don't really need much advance anyway. Practically walking and doing really simple stuff will get you going and get you started. And so to say I need a personal trainer, but I've got this like kind of like debt over here, it's so much more expensive. It's not like I've got we debate sometimes around gym memberships, don't we? About if you're on a debt-free journey and you're walking through your expenses, where can you cut things? For some people, actually, the gym is social. It's a mental health benefit. It is accountability. And so it's a little bit of pain because you're paying that and you're like, I've paid for it, I should go. And we do want people to be fit and well. And so it's all about relativity. But if you are paying for a personal trainer and you're paying them properly, that's going to be a big fee in your budget.
You have to is it me or them? Like literally you're going to pay yourself that £75 to get rid of your debt, or you're going to pay somebody else. And like Laura said, it's a skill set and it's a really good thing to keep you accountable, but there are ways to stay accountable. You can start a WhatsApp group with your friends. You can join a running club for free. You can do parkrun on a Saturday. Like there's so much you can do now. That's one thing I would say you cannot get away. Like back in the day, you had to go to a gym to be fit, or you had to do you remember the DVDs?
Workout DVDs.
I remember Vicky Pattison doing one. And,
I had a Towie
the
one when I was
Hollyoaks girls.
Do you used to have before and after pictures of
Hollyoaks girls did one. We've all seen them. Davina, go to a charity shop. You probably don't even have a DVD player.
So a DVD player is.
Oh my God! I think I asked my kids the other day. Do you know what this is? Nope. Never seen it before.
Because often you have to pay for a gym membership as well. Like if it's a PT at a particular gym, you're then doubling up. Whereas actually, if you are paying a gym membership, you could at least do classes and stuff and make it an aspirational thing. So I would like to, when I'm debt free, that's going back in my budget. there's nothing wrong. It'll just slow you down massive, because if this is a mental thing, right? If you convince yourself that to be fit and well, I need a personal trainer, it's a want, not a need, because you can get fit without a personal trainer. So then you'll convince yourself of anything. I need to pay for meal prep because I don't have the time. I'm busy, and it's cheaper. It's not when you do the maths, but you'll say it's cheaper, and so then that's another thing. And
I need my nails doing because they're really weak and they don't look good without it,
and I need it for work. We can convince ourselves of anything, and so sometimes by just going, actually, no, I'm going to cut everything. I'm focusing on this. It'll happen much quicker if I pull back on some stuff and I pay off this debt.
Because then when you are debt free, like, I don't know about you, but I'm so picky about what I spend my money on now. I sit much longer on the thought of, do I want to pay for this gym membership every month? Do I want to commit to this? Like, I really think about where I want to spend my money much more. So if you take it away,
it's harder. Like, sometimes you get and you have to spend.
Neil's like, will you make the bloody decision? It's a £10 decision. Laura always says that to me. I'll go, what do you? And she's like, this is if you split it out, literally, like you've split it out, it's a £10 decision. Get a grip. Yeah. Whereas, removing it while you're on a debt free journey, you really then get to grips of what's important to put back in. Mm-hmm. So yeah, or just do bridesmaids where they're like, there's a group session in the park.
Oh yeah,
and you're behind
in
a
the
tree,
background,
giving the sit-ups. Do you remember that scene?
I do remember that scene, and I feel like that's what we're talking about. Like,
that's a hack.
If you're a personal trainer, listen to this. Like, I want you to have lots of money and to run a successful business. But actually, if you have someone that has a really good excess and they're really financially well, they're going to be a long-term client for you. It's not going to be someone that's booking you for a fad, because again, it won't last, because it's because you've said, it's like, I need it to get fit.
It's like impulsive. You can just tell when someone's an impulsive spender, because there's always a new trend and a new fad and a new thing that they're tackling in their life. Be boring like me. Like, just don't do anything.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Well, this moves us nicely onto our first dilemma. Should I ditch luxuries while paying off debt? How do you feel about haircuts and maintenance? I'm
like holding my hair. Like,
I'm trying to pay off my debt and looking to cut down on my spending to achieve my goals. I've stopped getting my hair dyed because of the cost, but living in central Manchester... Are you going to the Christmas markets? But living in central Manchester, my haircuts cost £75 for a cut and a blow dry.
So not even a colour?
No, that's just a cut and a blow dry. I've already reduced my other maintenance, like nails and facials, to a complete minimum until I pay off my debt. But cutting my hair isn't something I can avoid. I don't want to cheat on my hairdresser, and I'm nervous.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
It's so stressful.
This keeps us up at night, guys, just so you know. Any guys that are listening, this is like proper. This is a proper dilemma.
They're like, oh, there's a barber's there. I'll just go in.
I'll just pop in.
Oh, God, what? I would die.
You'll what?
I don't want to cheat on my hairdresser, and I'm nervous to go somewhere else.
We're laughing because we know this feeling like...
I'm nervous to go somewhere else in case they ruin my hair. I feel like £75 is a huge expense for what it is, but my friends in the city say it's pretty standard these days. What are your thoughts or recommendations on keeping this luxury while on a journey to be debt-free?
She's doing the right thing, like working through the...
Yeah, questioning
she's already
her
decisions. She's already given up some stuff. And I love how she's preempted us saying, oh, we'll go somewhere else.
I know.
Because she's like, and that would be really difficult.
Not an option.
That is expensive.
Tell you what, you are in central Manchester. Get a bus out of central Manchester. Like, you will drop 30 quid just by getting on the bus to like Stockport or I don't know, like outside the M60. Just get on a bus or a train, and I swear to God, it will drop by 30 quid.
Oh no, it definitely will. Yeah. She just doesn't want to cheat on her hairdresser.
Yeah, and I won't cheat. We won't cheat on our hairdresser. We have the same one. We wouldn't. So this is not advice in that respect. But you've got to leave your hairdresser.
We have options. So she has options where she doesn't go for haircuts. So there's an option there where you don't get your hair cut, and obviously that is stressful for people that need. If you've got a cut that needs maintenance,
if you've got a bob, I feel your pain.
Yeah. Longer, it's a bit easier to handle. Yeah. So you've got, I don't do it at all. You have go to another one, which I think for a period of time, like, it's not the end of the world. I think sometimes we work ourselves up to the fact that you can't leave a hairdresser.
I think if you're going somewhere for colour different, that's risky. But a cut,
Yeah, I agree.
Not as
Because
risky.
hair grows, but where you can damage your hair. Like if
Yeah.
you don't go to someone that looks after your hair with your colour,
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
times.
So look at recommendations again, like if you live in central Manchester now, where was home? And you can kind of make excuses as well, be like, oh, I just had it done while I was home.
Just you're probably like one of a million clients.
We are, we've said this before, we are the
main character, but we actually are in our head. We have the best time.
Another option though is chat to your hairdresser. If she is this queen that you're saying she is, having an honest conversation with her about, look, I'm on this debt-free journey. I've cut back on all the things. I really don't want to cut back on my hair, but it's expensive. I'm going to start stretching my time between appointments. So that's one thing. Or can I not get the blow dry?
Yeah.
Or
we were
can
talking about
I
that
come in with my hair wet? Like
I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
So many times.
But ask her about it.
Yeah.
She might say, do you know what? We've got like a student night where I will supervise, but it's going to be an apprentice hairdresser.
Yes.
I think I would do that with our hairdresser. I would say, Mandy,
she's gonna love this.
But I would like, can you help me out? Because this is for a period of time.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut.
I don't want to lose. I don't want to leave as a client. Like I want to stay.
And
so what can we do?
A good business person and hairdresser will go. They won't like give you like free and stuff.
You're not
obviously.
asking for it either.
They'll give you the options that you have, which could be, like I said, could be apprenticeship, could be stretching out time between appointments, and it could be having less, like because their time costs money. So it's like you just come in for the cut. Mm-hmm. We could do it dry.
Because your general haircut time is going to be between like 6 to 8 weeks, and £75 stretched over. It's effectively stretched over 2 budgets, so it's actually a £30-odd decision that you're making. Do you know?
Yeah. But you are. So when you go to like put yourself into the position of the hairdresser here, when you're going to one in central Manchester, their costs. Yeah. So it's that's why it's more expensive in someone's in the central Manchester versus someone's house because you've got bills to pay, rent to pay, staff to pay. Yeah. It all adds up, and so they're probably not making more than the hairdresser in the village or the hairdresser that works from home. The margin will be like the revenue will be the same, but they've got all their costs, and so that's why it costs that. And so, like,
she's not like trying to make a big margin on you.
I'm sure some of them do. Don't get me wrong. Like, but it's.
I'm just laughing. Do you remember months ago in the community where the woman?
I don't remember you both laughing. Do you know what they're laughing at, Lydia?
It was like, memory. I decided to start getting my hair cut at home.
We've got hairdressers in the community and they're all like, no.
No, she went to someone's, I think she went to the person's house, didn't she? Or something. Yeah. She was like, and she washed my hair in the sink, and they were like, faster in the sink.
Oh my God. That's the drainer.
Oh my God, the things you do for a debt-free journey.
Oh, did you remember?
Yeah.
I think I know it was as well, like, please message us in, then we could pick it back up. But it was so funny.
I thought you meant because it was, some of them were saying, oh, I'm going to do box dye, and the hairdressers, in fact, I think they messaged to us. They were like, just tell them not to.
There were people in the community being like, I want to dye my own hair, blah, 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 to save money. And then literally all the hairdressers circumventing the community, coming to me and Laura and being like, guys, we're not doing this to like make more money, but these box dyes are really bad and they can damage your hair. And if you're not doing it correctly, like it can really damage you. Like for the long term, it's going to cost them more. And we're like, oh, do we have to go back in the community and be like, put the box dyes down? But it was so funny, wasn't it, when she was like, yeah, I went to a hairdresser who did it at home and to save money, and I've just bent over the sink to wash my hair, and there's like spaghetti in the drainer.
But again, like, you know, hairdressers know their stuff, and like, you know, we have someone on a debt-free journey. Like, they will empathize. Mm-hmm. It's the same with colour. I think you've said this before, Lucy, having practical conversations about manageable hair. So whether it's the balayage or whether it's like what they call it with the root, when it's like
the root smudge.
Root smudge. There we go. There's a new name for it all the time. But these I've seen more recently, you know, some really good like grey blending. Apparently that's a bigger thing. So as people are getting more grey hairs, especially if they're blonde, what can you do sympathetically, which will not mean you have to get your grey roots done all the time, but you can have a hair dye and a cut that's really like sympathetic to the greys and complementary to the greys. And that's big because, you know, if you want to cover up your grey hairs, you have to keep going back to the hairdresser.
I am locked in for life. Like, because of my hair so dark, I'm locked in. Yeah. Forever. Like, just take the money.
Yeah, don't need to pay up front.
Yeah, for
the
life.
Next 5 years.
For life. It's like a life insurance against my hair.
Yeah.
Like, is it cheaper to pay up front? Because my greys are coming through. I love that the industry are like embracing grey a little bit more now, but it is really hard when you've got dark hair and you've just got like a strip of grey roots. So
Yeah,
I
I know it
sympathise
is,
when
especially
people want
when
to
you're-
keep up with hair colour.
And it's like, so it becomes, but this is why getting your money shit together is really important, because to be a female, especially an aging female, it costs money. If you think about some of the skin regimes that young girls are embracing, I would like to think that by the time you're in your 30s and your 40s and you've got your money together, you can spend on, anti-aging treatments and be able to look after your appearance and stuff. The idea that girls in their early 20s have to do that right now, with like this glass skin vibe is crazy. Yeah, it is super crazy, but it's kind of this like accepted minimum that we all have to do. And so it is tough. It is like, this is the hidden tax of being a female that we talked about. It's not because, honestly, it isn't because we all love doing it. Don't we?
No,
sometimes it's nice, but it's because it's kind of accepted that that's just what it costs. We don't just pop into any old barbers.
No,
Jeez.
and you're there. It's a big time's a big thing. Like minimum 2.5 hours, isn't it? Like our
You're gonna die.
Yeah, it's a long time, big commitment.
I would say like ask for a breakdown, because like obviously you're not getting it dyed, but when you get it dyed, it's like, okay, you're getting it bleached or like coloured or whatever, and then I don't know if this is just a bleaching, you get a toner, and then like you get your Olaplex in case, because you
could be treatments
damaged from like overlapping bleach.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of more things like, oh, you're getting a treatment that you can take out.
Yeah, you can do that. And because I remember, our hairdresser said, oh, should we do Olaplex this time or not?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
options.
Man
Don't
always
just
asks.
take it as a given,
Yeah.
which is like you have to pay for everything. And again, I just think that chat means she gets to keep you as a customer.
Yeah, you're going with like, I want to stay.
Feels
so
like
what
she really
can we
doesn't
do?
wanna go anywhere else.
Yeah, and
And
that's
sometimes the
fine. I
mental
get
load of
it.
finding somewhere else
Yeah.
is hard as
Yeah,
well.
it's too
And I
risky.
get it. If you've got a good hairdresser,
But
like
there's nothing worse than not feel like you're overpaying, because she's not saying that, but handing over that money when money's an issue.
Yeah.
And you've already cut out so much, like you've foregone the facials and the
like
nails.
you've gone to the last possible thing. But I think haircuts, like you say, you can definitely stretch haircuts out much more than you can colour.
Yeah.
You can ask if you can go in with wet hair and go out with wet hair, blow dry
Yeah.
it when you get home.
I've done that.
Loads of people do it. I've seen it. It's not anything to be like bothered about. Just
No.
ask the question.
And
Be
like mentally,
honest.
it's for a period of time.
Yeah. Explain
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
not
doing.
forever.
Yeah.
You'll be able to, you can walk in there and go, I'm getting a full head of
Olaplex!
highlights, full blow dry.
Give me the
whole ball
treatment.
of Olaplex. Okay, I've got a good community win this week. A month ago, I posted for the first time about the fact that I had overdrafts on 2 accounts and an Amex that I was relying on heavily to get me through to every payday. I had £0 in savings along with 4.5k in credit card debt. I'm proud to say that after a really, really hard month of spending below my means and not dipping back into my overdraft, I've got £500 in sinking funds and an ever-growing emergency fund. I can't wait to reach 1 month of expenses saved and start chipping away at my debt. I couldn't have done it without the Financielle app or this community.
Wow. I don't know how long she's been doing it for. She says she posted for the first time, but I don't know if
A month ago, yeah.
if she's just done Financielle
She's on
for
her
the
way.
month, but whew, she's on it.
So she's working the emergency fund, so she needs 1 month's expenses, and she's already started to build up sinking funds. We were talking about sinking funds this morning, actually, about the pain's the first time. It's about getting ahead to a sinking fund. You're building up pots of money for planned expenses. And sometimes you're doing it whilst making the monthly payment. So, for example, let's say you're doing it for car insurance,
Like
and you need to
doubling
save
up a
up
bit.
£500 a year for, let's do 600 for easy, it's £50 a month. So sometimes you're paying your car insurance monthly and you're saving up for being able to pay in advance, whilst also trying to save up for an emergency fund, whilst also then trying to overpay your debt. So that's why we say start with lean sinking funds first. Like, don't have a really big bougie travel one. Don't have a big bougie beauty one. Like, make sure that the for the absolute planned expenses, pretend that it's like the minimum that you're going to need. And it's tough that first time, but then when you
especially if you've
use
been
it,
like an impulsive spender or something, there's not much instant gratification to a sinking fund. But only when you like deploy the sinking
That's
fund
so
do you
true.
get the big, much bigger dopamine hit than you
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
get on a impulse purchase.
because you get
guaranteed.
you get the thing and it's free.
Yeah, it's for free.
But I always vividly remember this feeling of, I feel like I put my big girl pants on that I'd saved up in advance for something, because I hated doing the saving. When I was putting some money aside for car insurance, there is no gratification for that.
Where's
It's nice
yeah,
to
you
see
don't
that,
even get
actually.
the,
Like,
it's nice to build up, and I think
and the total of all of them, like if you use a POTS functionality
if you
in your
use
bank,
pots
it totals
or
them.
spaces, and like it's great. It feels gamified because you can put a picture on and all that stuff, all those shallow things that us humans need, like a pat on the back for. But that can give you a little bit of a boost. But only when you deploy a sinking fund do you get that dopamine hit, that gratification.
Really, but it's that first time, and so if you're doing that, like the win will come. The win will come and it'll feel amazing, but it'll feel rubbish initially when you're having to you'd rather spend that money or save it even or pay it off your debt. Like you're giddy about using the money and you don't like putting it there, but it will come up. So the fact that you're able to do that so quickly.
Yeah, it's good. And the Financielle community at the moment, a lot of new people keep coming in and they're like asking the question about, should I do my emergency fund yet? I'll pay off my debt. And it feels so counterintuitive, but we'd never have to message back. Like I start to message and I just see ping, 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 ping. People are messaging like, no, do your emergency fund. You'll be grateful for it because something will come up and you'll have to then build the credit back up again. So I like the reminder of she knows she's got all the debt, but in the background she's like, I'm well on my way to getting my emergency fund.
Yeah, and so what I also advise people to do when we're looking at sinking funds is keep them super lean. Definitely do these ones that are like annual expenses because sometimes you get a discount if you pay up front for them. But like when you're advanced on your journey, you've got a really good emergency fund. You should also have things like car maintenance fund, and you should also have like a house maintenance fund because if you need the gutters sorted, or if the boiler breaks, or if something happens on the car and you need money, those funds are really important to have. But when you're early in your journey, you can use your emergency fund for those. So I always say keep your sinking funds list tight, really, really lean for the, if you're going to be spending on a holiday, do it. If you're going to be buying stuff at Christmas, do the Christmas one. If you're going to be paying for insurances, pay for the insurances one. For the maintenance ones, I usually, if you want to be super quick, I say don't worry about them, or make them small and nominal and get used to putting money in them. But that's why your emergency fund is really important. Once you have got a really good emergency fund, it's actually nice to then up the others as well. And then because of when you save up a really good emergency fund, you never want to touch it ever. You would rather sell your children than touch your nice, like that's your security blanket. That's when the other sinking funds come in. So that's just a quick tip.
Lucy and I are always kicking each other under the table.
I had to use my emergency fund.
Oh, go on.
For the dentist.
Oh, for the dentist.
Yes, well done. And I've
got a normal dentist sinking fund. But it was actually a dental emergency.
Yes.
And I didn't want to touch that, like that stage.
Did you not use any of these dental sinking
No, because I don't want to see that get empty. Because I've got a normal dentist appointment in a few weeks.
So that's already, you're planning on to use that next time you go to the dentist?
Yeah, I've got that for like, I don't want to say this out loud and make it a reality, but my teeth are weak. I assume that
it's true.
I will assume that I need like 3 fillings a year. And that's how I work out how much I need in my
so you don't want
fund.
to dip into that because you know you're going to use it. So use
the
emergency fund for an emergency, and this is what it was.
Yeah,
well done. Well,
but imagine if you didn't have your emergency fund.
Yeah,
you get to the dentist and the idea for me that someone wouldn't go because they're worried about the cost. Yeah, it's just so stressful to me. It's your teeth. It's just you've got to look after them and the pain.
Yeah, it was so. I kind of got off the phone out of a panic and I was like, I'm so glad that I could just book that appointment and it wasn't like, how much will it cost? And
because how many people do you reckon ring up a dentist and like, I've got a problem, how much is it? Oh, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'll just live with the pain or whatever it might be. I'm sure I saw someone on Instagram the other day saying that they'd been for an emergency appointment and I think it was over £1,000 for the treatment. Then they had to go back the day after and it was going to be like £900.
Yeah.
Jesus,
it's so
astronomical.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but your teeth,
and you have to pay
for
the actual emergency appointment as well.
It's not a nice to have to look after your teeth. Like it's not like, I don't know, like a dishwasher. You go, can't afford it. I'll have to wash with my hands. Your teeth.
Yeah. However, I now will be putting more into my
I was going to ask that. Are you going to put more in?
It really hurt me to use my
emergency upset you.
fund.
Right. Okay. So you're going to bolster that a little bit.
Yep. Cool. Definitely.
Good one.
And then let's work it through. So then your next payday,
I won't be putting much.
Your excess will go into the emergency fund, will it? Okay.
Unfortunately, but
then it'll be back up again.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, teeth.
Yeah.
Pull yourself together. Hold in there.
Good job I've not got a chocolate advent calendar.
Oh yeah, that's why you got the coffee one.
Yeah, coffee with a straw. If you'd like to tell us your win, head to the community in the app or email it to thevault@financielle.com. Okay, time for our next dilemma. I feel so behind compared to my family and friends. Hi girls. I'm 25 and recently divorced. I was out of employment for 9 months, which meant I used up all of my emergency fund, but I'm now starting a new job that will definitely give me a head start in my career. My monthly salary is £2,000 and I'm in a very privileged position where I live at home and pay no rent at the moment. However, I feel very behind compared to all my friends and family. They all seem to have their money shit together and have always seemed to be left behind. For example, when I went to uni far from home and had to use all of my student finance for housing, whereas my friends and family got to use that money to save, travel, or buy things instead. Or more recently, I got married and then divorced soon after and had to start my life all over again. I just want this time to be different. I want to save up for a car, rebuild my emergency fund, and take advantage of that extra £1,000 from the government by using up my LISA allowance for this tax year. Which means I'll have to be very frugal for the next 6 months and throw more than 70% of my income into my savings. Am I doing the right thing, or should I just focus on one thing at a time?
Divorce and unemployment, like that is a heavy thing to go through.
It's 2 big life events in a short period of time.
I'm glad you're at home. I'm glad you feel like you can go home. Not everyone can, and that is obviously, financially a good thing, but just mentally a nice thing as well. Like looking after the basics, and you'll have someone else to like make you nice drinks. And
I would kill to move home again.
well, I'd save
I
all
think
that
I've
money as well.
referenced it a lot of times on this pod, to the point where Neil's probably like, well, go home then. But to be, like you said, for there to be an environment where you can go home, focus on you, be looked after.
Running
You're
a
still
home
so
mental
young
load, isn't
as
it?
well.
Like,
yeah, the mental load of running a house, and the life admin that comes with it. But just to be with your family, is such a blessing. But throwing 70% of your income to your savings and living frugally for 6 months, you will be fine. Like if you've been a student, you know how to live frugally, and you'll be fine. It'll be like something to focus on as well with everything that's just gone on. You can set some really good goals. And my first one will probably be building up your emergency fund, because it sounds like that got eaten into when you were in unemployment. But now you've got a job. That's a nice new thing to be looking forward to. Let's set some goals. You can do it in the app. What's your emergency fund and what do you need it to be? Especially if you're living at home, it doesn't have to necessarily be huge. So you can start putting the money to other things. If it's sinking funds, if you wanted to save up for a car, like they're things that you might need for your job, and to have a little bit of independence as well after everything that's kind of gone on. You don't want to go back and feel like you've gone backwards in life, which you genuinely haven't. It's not linear, and I think we've learned that being at Financielle, people come to us at different ages, different stages in their lives, and it's not linear. We don't all leave university, find our dream job, find a husband, get married, have children. It just doesn't work like that. So comparing yourself to other people, it's just not going to do you any good. Like you wrote your own story, your own main character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there's the in and out, move home, move out, move home.
It's so common these days, isn't it? It's like a given.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't, it's weird.
Yeah. It's
more for you for not doing it. It's like the best time.
And you also don't know what's going on in other people's lives. You don't know that just because Instagram is telling you that people have got married and then stayed together and then bought a home. You don't know what their finances are like, and it is really hard. Your 20s are really hard.
Yeah, they are.
I do.
So everyone's on such different pages.
Yeah. Like, do you feel like you're on, like there's stages
I just
of
get
stuff?
like jealousy of everyone.
Because you can see everything though. Like when we were younger, you couldn't see everyone. All you get is a photo dump on Facebook of like 50 pictures from the night out at Walkabout. And that's how you find out whether someone got shit-faced and met a person and whatever. But it wasn't.
Now we're being told everyone's stories all the time.
In real time.
Yeah. And half of them are from influencers who are like loaded.
Oh, they just gifted everything.
So it's the worst thing about this at the moment is it's not just someone's highlight reel. It's everyone's highlight reel. So for example, let's talk Molly May this year has been through, she's been through the breakup, but she's launched a new business. She's got an adorable little girl. So her highlight reel is business owner and mum. And then you might follow then her sister, who has got married and who is amazing at High Rocks and doing like the fitness thing. And then you might also follow someone else that does something else, or that's traveled. Let's say that someone's traveled. So your consumption has seen a wedding, a home, a breakup that was kind of like moved over and we don't talk about it. She's not even told us. How rude of her. Like what happened. But like that was like smoothed up. What do I mean? Like covered over a little bit.
Over, yeah.
It wasn't got in. It was brushed over. That's right. It was brushed over. So you knew about it. You don't
see that blip.
But you don't see the blip. So you see, oh my God, how cute is it to be like a young mum of a little toddler who is absolutely adorable. And oh my God, isn't it nice to like launch a business? And oh, look at that travel and look at that wedding and her outfit was amazing. Oh, she's getting fit and she's doing high rocks. And we've just amalgamated 3 different people's lives into this highlight reel. And I think that's really hard.
It is. Yeah, and it's just not the truth. And also when she's comparing back to like uni, she's still living in the past and seems to be quite bothered about what people spent their student finance on. They've all got to pay it back, can I just say?
Yeah.
Like if you all took out that student finance and they might have used it for travel, they might have used it for going out eating, you're all going to be paying it back and they're going to have to pay it back
even
too.
if it's been put into savings, it's like an awful interest rate at the moment.
Yeah.
So they're paying.
So if you're going to compare, you're actually all in the same boat.
Yeah.
It's not like they've got off scot-free from this like bit of debt that they're going to have to pay off. You're actually all in the same boat in that respect. You might end up being better off because you're going to be saving a hell of a lot more than they're going to be doing if
I was
they're
going to
living.
say that like, I look at people who are living at home like, you must be saving so much
Literally,
money. Like,
break
so
it.
jealous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just can't.
So you don't know. Her friends could be sat there thinking, "Oh, I'm 90% of my
like
income
to rent a room in
going
London."
Back out. And 70% of yours is going to savings. Like, what a good position to be in.
I definitely like to go Taylor Swift. There's eras. There's like different eras, and this is your stay-at-home era.
What era are you in?
I don't know, but I need a better one.
Mine's bedraggled.
Bedraggled.
Every day I get dressed and I wear the same Uniqlo leggings and I wear the same gym trainers and I wear the same socks and the same coat and I'm like, Holly,
need a show dress.
Come on.
Need some sequins.
Yeah. Get out of this like mom era.
Yeah. But there's eras and some of it is like, when any of you become parents, there's like the baby era and your mum and dad or mums to babies, and
that's just like don't wash like that era.
It's really exciting what you've got ahead of you. But this is your regrouping, looking after yourself, and there will be a time if you set these goals that you'll be a homeowner, and there will be a time where you'll meet someone else, and there will be a time. But this is your stay at home and new job era,
and at that point as well, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I got married years ago. I'm so bored."
Yeah,
this
where's
house
the next
needs
thing?
Needs so much work.
She needs to, and it's like a common thing on TikTok, romanticize her new era.
Definitely. I think you can romanticize a lot
Lucy,
of things.
go on, romanticize your day.
Anything. I sit on the train, I'm like, oh my God. So nice.
What are you listening to?
Looking out the window.
Depends on the soundtrack of your life. But like I said, leaning into that some people like I said, the grass isn't always greener. We've talked about this. Comparison is the thief of joy. Someone will be looking at her going, she's like finding herself. She's back at home again. And then she's got this new job. Oh, I'm bored in my job. I wish I had this new exciting thing. And so just focusing on you. And then there's lots of things that you want to do. I think like you said, Holly, it's super good to set some goals that are now and later and start making progress on those. Don't give yourself a hard time on the lifetime I set. And I love that you love that. I love that you want the grand.
People get so
take the free money
into that, don't they?
But
get themselves stressed
it's locked
out.
away. So you could do with an emergency fund. Build that. Don't worry about the end of the tax year. If you put some away this year, great.
Yeah.
In April you could put all of it in or whatever, but don't worry about it. Go through the flows, go through the stages. And enjoy like building up your stability again.
Like we've had dilemmas in before where people, I don't know if you remember, the girl moved home and I think she was like, I'll just end up going out and eating. Like there's no structure and she was just like, her money was just flying in and out because she didn't have any responsibilities. Like you are being a little bit hard on yourself, and I would say like enjoy yourself as well. Like you've been through a hard time. As long as you're building these strong financial foundations, you can romanticize this life. You can have a great life at home but don't think too far forward. We're always living 6 months ahead, and I'm really guilty of it as well. Like being a little bit present in your situation. Setting yourself some goals are great and keeps you accountable, but just try and live your life like you've been through a hard time, and
the time's going to pass anyway.
It'll go so quick.
And like, the older you get, you realize when people have said things to you like, this is the youngest you'll ever be. It might be the thinnest you'll ever be. Like those jokes. But
I was thinking about the other day, what was the thing where you said to me, and I was replaying it in my head, is it like the golden years.
The
golden years. Do you know about that?
No, what's that?
There's a concept called the golden years where there's a period of time where everyone that's important to you is alive. and healthy, and you do normal things like you might travel a little bit and you can eat in nice places and like just and you never know when they're going to end. And it was when my mum lost her brother, our uncle, and it really, really, like, he was young, and it really, really impacted them. And I'd said, this is the end of your golden years. Like it was before and after Michael. That's like how they refer to things. When my nan passed away a couple of years ago, what's so sad is for all of them, including my nan, the golden years had already ended because Michael had passed away.
Yeah.
Like if he hadn't have done,
if he hadn't
have done, that would have been the end of their golden years.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's where you live with grief, or you live with a big health change, or you can't do the things that you could have done. And so
she still might be in a golden year. So I want to say
will
to
be,
people,
and hopefully she's got a long time of golden years.
People that are a bit younger, I always want to say, like, these are your golden years. And only like after the fact, like I said, so like a matriarch in your family dies or something like that, or someone young and it shouldn't, a tragedy happens or something, you reflect and you're like, and we could probably pinpoint when the golden years, when it's like at my nan's house and everyone's there and you're a kid, so you're not got any like financial worries or like relationship worries, like, and you just,
I think for some people, I definitely sometimes grieve life before children. Like, we're so lucky that we've been able to have children, and we joke about them a lot on this show, but they do bring us lots of joy. But when you become a parent, especially when you're like what I mean by a full-time parent is when you don't have like even a custody thing where like they're with you all the time, like you're on shift all the time. I'm like, what did we do before? You cannot, without lots of planning and stress, go away for the night or go
guilt as well.
Just there's loads of stuff, and so there's a little bit of that, which is the time will come where you won't have.
Well, you'll have so many responsibilities.
Yeah.
So just enjoy.
Again, owning a home, not having to mentally run a home or find somewhere to rent or when juggle the bills on your own, like that time. So embracing this time as this era, because the seasons will change. Like, it'll absolutely change. Hopefully for the better as well. Like there's good stuff coming as well. Not just like it's going to be shit, so enjoy it now. But I think we all find it hard to be present, don't we?
Enjoy the area that you're in. You always want something else. We're always really bad at that. Like, I'm already like, I can't wait till the kids are a bit older so we can, they can, I don't know, like we don't have to, we could go to a night out and just be like, yeah, fine, no problem. The kids can sort themselves, like they're old enough. But they're the only little ones, so you kind of just got revert back and go, no, they'll come.
A little bit I was thinking about this week, I don't know why, but I think as you get older, you become so much more content with, actually, this is life. Because I think when you're younger, there's so many possibilities that you can romanticize that as well. And, that's why, will you be really wealthy? Will you live in Italy? Will you, I can't think of what it is, but will you be famous for some people? Whatever it is, there's so much possibility. It's kind of crippling this, and then the idea of being average. Oh, I don't want to end up like them, or like some people say, I don't want to end up like my parents. Like, it is a really weird thing. And as I've got older, as the grays start coming in, as the wrinkles start coming in, as like the children, it's all about the children. You do kind of get a bit more at peace with.
I think it's your 30s. I saw something the other day about like your 30s are the better, like where you're just much like calmer, and your 20s are a bit less. Your 20s are so chaotic.
You don't care about pleasing other people as much.
Oh God. Lucy doesn't do that anyway.
Like, no,
I'm not coming.
Okay. Any final words for this episode?
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh, that's a t-shirt.
Favourite one.
Or a sign.
I'm guilty of it too.
That's going to be my fun sign in my kitchen, Lydia. So like, the
Live,
Nana's
laugh,
kitchen.
love.
Live, laugh, love. That's all for this episode. The Vault is now closed. Just a quick disclaimer, The Vault is just a chat around life and money topics, and we are not giving financial advice.